This is the new Alfa Romeo Giulia GTAm. It is the most extreme, most exciting, most glorious looking and the most expensive Alfa you can buy. Wait till you hear how much this thing actually costs. Anyway, in this video, I'm not only going to reveal that, I'm going to talk you through all the upgrades to the chassis, the design, the interior, everything you need to know about it, including how quick it is from 0 to 60 miles an hour. Will it be as quick as Alfa Romeo claims? I'm also going to do a brake test on it, obviously, and hint it about a bit. I might even do something bad to the brakes, so look out for that later in the video. Anyway, I'm Matt Watson, and you're watching Car Wow. Let's start this video by talking about the engine, because obviously for this special edition version, Alfa has tuned it. They've given it new conrods, they've updated the oil and the cooling system, they've reprogrammed the ECU, so we're bound to have some huge power gains, right? No. So it's a 2.9 litre V6 twin turbo like the standard car. Standard car has 510 horsepower. This one has a massive 30 horsepower more. That's all. So it's got 540 horsepower. As for torque, it's exactly the same 600 newton meters. So what exactly are we getting extra? Let's head to the back. Check this out. Alfa has fitted this car with a glorious centre-mounted Akrapovic exhaust system, and it's made out of titanium. Oh yeah, it sounds epic. Let's hear it. Go on, start it up. Come on. I'm pretty sure that's just perforated my eardrums. I'm not joking, that really hurt. Even though my ears are still ringing, I'm going to continue with this review because I'm a professional. So let's talk through the styling upgrades. So the GTAm has a redesigned, more aggressive front bumper. I mean, just look at it. And there's loads more carbon fibre on it than the standard car. And this front splitter, you can actually adjust it manually. It'll come out by up to 40 millimeters, depending on whether you want more downforce or a higher top speed. And all the vents, look, they're all real. They're all real. Thank God for that. Here at the sides, you've got more carbon fibre, such as for the door mirrors. They've got the Italian flag on them as well. That's nice. The wings are actually carbon fibre, but you can't tell because obviously they're painted. You can tell there's carbon fibre for the side skirts though. And look, they've got little winglets on, and it says they're Sauber Engineering because Sauber is Alfa Romeo's Formula One engineering partner. So there, and there's more carbon fibre here over the rear wheel arches, and the wheels, 20-inch forged alloys, and they look awesome. Here at the back, the only changes I can spot are the fact that the Alfa Romeo badge is in black, and you've got a Giulia GTAm badging there, which looks like a sticker, but it's not. It's underneath the lacquer, thank goodness. Oh, and of course there's this big carbon fibre armrest, which doubles as a wing actually, and you can adjust it between 4 different positions. There's also this huge rear diffuser, which I think does actually diffuse the air, and every vent you see is real. Here on the inside, change over the standard Giulia Quadrifoglio include lots of Alcantara. So you've got Alcantara headlining, Alcantara on the door tops, Alcantara on the dash, green and white stitching, your GTAm badging up here. You've also got fabric door pulls. How GT car is that? And look, the carbon fibre has a matte finish rather than gloss in the standard car. Other things to note, of course, the seats. So you've got carbon fibre bucket racing seats from Seatbelt, and you have 6-point racing harnesses. Ugh. But if you can't be asked to put them on when you just go in the shops, thankfully there's a normal seat belt as well. That's not all though. This car is number 320 out of 500. That's right, only 500 GTAs and GTAms will ever be built, and that's combined, by the way. Now the GTA is slightly less expensive. It'll save about £5 if you go for that car instead of this GTAm. Either way though, they're both really, really expensive. So this car, £155,000.
You serious?
That's nuts, isn't it? Now you can save yourself a whole bunch of cash and just go for a standard Giulia Quadrifoglio. In fact, you can save even more if you check out the pricing through Car Wow. So click on the pop-out banner up there or follow the link in the description to see how much money you can save on a Giulia Quadrifoglio through Car Wow. That said, this GTAm does have a lot more extra kit on it, and I'm going to continue with the review now. As standard, this car comes with carbon ceramic brakes. So you've got 390mm discs at the front, gripped by 6-piston calipers. At the back, 360mm discs gripped by 4-piston calipers, and they can take an absolute beating. In fact, I was hitting this car around track, and they got so hot that you got flames coming from the pads. Yeah, didn't harm them though, it was absolutely fine. Anyhow, let's get on with a brake test. Right, let's do a brake test. Full emergency stop from 60 miles an hour. Here we go, here comes the stop. Oh, right, so that stopped from 60 in 34 metres, which actually is, so-so. They're carbon ceramics. They need to get some heat into them to perform as best as they can. Maybe if it was on steel brakes, it'd stop a bit quicker on that one instance of stopping, but obviously on track, carbon ceramics, much better option. Let's run through the upgrades to this car's chassis because there are loads. So the suspension's been lowered, you've got stiffer springs, you've got recalibrated adaptive dampers, and you've got stiffer anti-roll bars at the back and the front. Alfa has made this car wider, so there's been a 50mm increase in the width of the track at the back and 25mm increase at the front. The steering has also been reworked to make it more responsive. So you can go from lock to lock in just 2 turns. You've also got Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tyres as standard. There are some other key changes as well. The rear doors are not made out of metal, they're made out of plastic. So too is the back window and the rear door windows. And then look in here, there are no back seats. Instead, you've got a half roll cage, these nets there which will help secure your helmet firmly in place. And then you've got a fire extinguisher. How motorsport is all of that? All right, let's see what this GTAm is like to drive. Well, engine's mega. Wow, just revs so freely and it just sings so loud. Great noise, and it's responsive. And when you're in manual mode, this gearbox is quick, it's on it. It's not the fastest, but it's fast enough. Steering though is a highlight. This thing just darts into corners and it's so precise and it goes exactly where you want the car to go. There's loads of front end grip. And the car just remains nice and flat through the bends, yet the suspension doesn't feel overly firm, it's fluid. And the rear axle works really well to dig down and hook you up and power you out the bends. This is such a great all-round package. I thought it'd be like hard and bouncy on the road, but somehow it actually seems to go down the road better and more relaxed than the standard Quadrifoglio. I don't know what they've done. It's like some kind of Italian witchcraft. Do you know what I think it is? It's when manufacturers are developing cars, such as when they're working on the Alfa Quadrifoglio, and they got to a point when they had to stop. You know, the money was up, time was up, got to put the car out. And the engineers know in the back of their mind the tweaks that they'd like to make beyond where they got to with the car, and like over the years or so that it's been released, they come up with ideas of how they can just improve it that much better. And then when they come along and get the opportunity to do a car like this, a special edition, they are able to put all that know-how that they've accumulated since the original car was launched into further developing it. And so you get this massive improvement, because that is what this feels like. It's absolutely superb. The standard car is brilliant, but this is like this is another level. I adore it. I'm going to have to go back up that road again for another go. Normally I'd finish talking there and move on, but I'm going to have another go. So good! It makes my BMW M3 competition feel a little bit like, and that's a great car. It's not that the BMW M3 is in any way, shape or form bad, it's really, really good. It's more the fact that this just has a little bit more theatre, it just feels a little bit more on it, and I think it goes over the road better. You'd think that this would just be like track only and then you're going to feel like it's really compromised on the road, but it's not. It works the road so well. Question is though, what's it like when you're just cruising around? Well, you know what, I'm going to put this into drive, I'm going to go into normal mode, slacking off the dampers now, it's all just a bit chilled. And if I'm brutally honest, it's slightly louder than the standard Quadrifoglio, which isn't the quietest car in its class anyway. It's a bit more road noise, but it's not unbearable, it's fine. It's way better than something like a Porsche 911 GT3, which is just a constant din when you're driving at the motorway. This is much more livable. And the gearbox, being a torque converter automatic, it's good at just cruising. It just sloshes the gears together really well. It's actually an easy car to daily, much easier in terms of the driving experience. Obviously there's no back seats. I think the only thing is the carbon ceramics, which take a bit of getting used to. They're not bad by carbon ceramic standards, but they're just not quite so progressive, and you don't feel as in tune with them as you would do the steel brakes on the standard car. A little bit grabby at times when you just first press them like that. It's not the smoothest. Might make your passengers feel sick. I say passengers, you can only have one in there. What am I talking about? Oh, there we go, yeah. Oh, and they sometimes make that groaning noise. Obviously, practicality is compromised with this car. Thankfully, if you do need some rear seats, just get the normal GTA because it doesn't have them removed and there's no roll cage in the back or anything like that. It's fine. There is one problem though. Look at this. There's some bracing there. So that does affect the boot ever so slightly and what you can carry in this car. And that brings you on to 5 annoying things about the Alfa Romeo Giulia GTAm. Bizarrely, for a track-focused car such as this, you can't turn the stability control all the way off. Even when you put it into race mode, it's still there, just in the background working away. And that means that you can't do the biggest, smokiest drifts like you can in a BMW M3. Now this car is a limited edition, so it should hold its value pretty well. But £155,000 for a Giulia Quadrifoglio is a bit tough to swallow. It's like 2 times the price of the normal car, and it's more expensive than a Porsche 911 GT3, which quite frankly, is better to drive. If you wear the 6-point harness, you still have to have the normal seatbelt plugged in behind you, because if you don't, it doesn't recognise that you're secure, and so the seatbelt warning will bong as you're driving along on track, which is ridiculous. It's a shame you can't actually roll the rear windows down, because that way you'd be able to hear the exhaust even better. This carbon fibre aero at the front really does look amazing, but it's really quite close to the ground, and as a result it's all too easy to scratch it. If you look underneath it, it's already been very badly scratched here, and I wonder if you were to hit a speed hump a little bit too quickly, you could even crack it, which would be very expensive to fix. It's not all negative though. Here's 5 good things about this car. Thanks to all that carbon fibre and the stripped out interior, this GTAm weighs in at just 1,540 kilos. That's 140 kilos less than the normal Giulia Quadrifoglio and 40 less than the GTA. Thankfully, Alfa hasn't gone and removed the car's infotainment system or the air conditioning in order to make the car lighter, like some other manufacturers do. That really annoys me when that happens. Check this out. Centre locking wheel nuts. First ever on any production saloon car. Thanks to all this extra adjustable aero, this GTAm has 300 kilos of downforce, which is 3 times that you have on the normal Giulia Quadrifoglio. Speaking of which, this car is actually 4 seconds a lap quicker around Alfa's test track Bolocco. Alfa Romeo enlisted the help of its Formula 1 racing drivers Kimi Räikkönen and Antonio Giovinazzi to help develop this car's chassis. Speaking of racing drivers, you can look like a pucker racing driver yourself, because you can get GTA racing overalls and a helmet if you buy this car. Right, let's see how quick this thing really is from 0 to 60 miles an hour. Specialist timing gear, will not lie. Can it really do 3.6? Not if I do it like that. Right, no, 5.32. I think I'm going to have to put it into dynamic mode to stop the spin. Right, let's try again. Yep. 4.97. Tyres struggling for grip. Now those Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2s need a lot of heat in them for them to perform at their best, and on the road you can never really get them all that hot. Let's have another go though. Right, let's give it one last go. Come on, Alfa. That's the best one yet. You can do it. Oh, struggling again. Yeah, I'll take that. 4.6. So 1 second slower than Alfa claims. Now I have had a quicker 0 to 60 time out of this car when I actually drove it on track, and if you want to see how quick I actually got out of it and see how quick it was on track, because I timed it around a circuit against a Porsche 911 GT3, click on the pop-out banner up there to go watch that video. So then, what's my final verdict on the Alfa Romeo Giulia GTAm? Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, I think for most people, even though it's an awesome car and I love it, you should avoid it. For £155,000, you can get some better cars. However, if you're loaded and you've already got quite a sizable car collection, you should definitely buy this car and add it to your garage. You know, it's limited run, so it'll probably hold its value, and there's just something unique and wonderful about it. I hope you'll enjoy the video. If you did, give it a like. And if you're a regular viewer who hasn't yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Do it, okay? Helps us get cars like this. Click on those windows, more videos to be watched. Click on that box there, it's a little surprise waiting for you.